So, oh yeah, we filled up the radiator. That was the last thing you watched. So we filled up the radiator. It's not completely burped, but it's pretty close. Squeezing all those hoses, getting the air bubbles out. I think this car is a little easier to bleed than the 124s because there's no tubes running up this tall. I hooked up the timing light and spun the starter. I got spark. When I turn it on, when I turn the starter, the fuel pump turns on. So we could be pressurizing, we could make fuel, but that fuel pump is shot, leaking, so can't. New fuel pump should be here tomorrow. So all I got to do tomorrow is throw a fuel pump on it, and then we should be able to crank on it and maybe get some RPMs out of it. Everything in here is done, except for the fuel pump. And putting the hood on. But for today, so you can see that front tire is cambered way in, both sides. The backs are cambered in a little bit. The car is way too low. So today we're going to do some suspension adjustment. Going to raise the car up, and then we're going to do alignment in the shop. So the first thing I want to do is try to translate turns on the struts into height of the car. It's pretty close to full weight. That hood's not that heavy. It's aluminum. It's full of coolant. It's got half a tank of fuel basically. So we could add another, what, 42 pounds. 42 pounds of fuel. If I want to do that, I'll just throw stuff in the trunk. Maybe we should. See if we can translate turns into height adjustments. $22 3/4. So it's 22 3/4 to the fender, 21 3/4 to the fender. The new tire is going to be about the same height. I think it's like a 1/2 inch bigger. But that's not that big a deal. So what I have to do now is jack it up, take the wheels off, spin on those struts, and then put the tires on, drop it down, and see what happens. This is going to take a while. I don't remember what it was at before. At all. It's been a year. And I probably never measured it. So the way I had it set, we're going to talk about millimeters from the bottom of the adjuster ring to the top of the set ring. So 27, and then the front is 18. So I adjusted the other side 30 in the front and 40 in the rear. And then we'll put the tires on, drop it, and see what it looks like. And I just want you to know, I didn't rehearse any of this. You want to know why? Because I've never done it before. So we're just ad-libbing, making it up as we go. I hold this bottom ring in place. That way it doesn't spin the tower. It has some sort of markings on it. And they look like they're about 10 mils apart in the center. Well, from top to bottom. I guess it's just a good place to start. But I feel like you're gonna need to measure, have a baseline, otherwise you're kind of just eyeballing it. So that's 40 mils. It's like on the third. Yeah, so if you run it up to this first line, completely cover it, I don't think that matters. Let me do the front one. $23 and a quarter. 23 and a quarter. 22. 22 and 8. So we went up 14 millimeters and 12 millimeters. So I went to 50 in the front and 40, 50 in the back, 40 in the front. Write that down. $23 and a half. 22 and a quarter. 23 and 5/8. 22 and a quarter. So I'm going up to 60 in the rear and 55 in the front. Are you even here? Yeah. Okay, so 55 millimeters on the front and 60 on the back. "24 inches. Yeah. 24, 22 and a half. 22 and a half. 23. I'm gonna eat some dinner. I'll be right back. Y'all take a break. Alright, so I moved it around and rolled it some more. So what I thought was 24 is 23 and 7/8. On the money. So it's within a 16th, which is fine. I think I'm gonna go up 5 mils all the way around and then we'll lock it down. But I have to take this front end apart. If you look at that steering wheel, it goes like that and it's supposed to be level across, and that right front is way in. That one's almost straight. Taking it up, taking the wheels off the front, working on front suspension. We can get it close up in the alignment, straightness, steering wheel stuff. And we put it on the ground, put some weight on it, and then we check it all over again. Then we measure again.